And welcome back. You're listening to Hysteria. Come on in. There'll be no more napping, as they said at the beginning of Pee-wee's Playhouse, my favorite show when I was a kid. R.I.P. Paul Rubens.
R.I.P.
This one hit me pretty hard, I gotta
it
say. My entire personality was Pee-wee based as a kid. I have realized. Yeah, we used to do the magic word, scream real loud. Did you guys ever watch that show?
Yeah.
It's the gayest kids show that's ever existed.
I'm going to say this, and I hope you take it 100% as a compliment. You and Pee-wee have like a similar aesthetic.
Thank you.
Oh, that is so nice.
You know, I was reading because I was doing a lot of diving into Pee-wee, and I learned that his suit when he was like first doing his stage show, which eventually became Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Pee-wee's Playhouse, he deliberately picked it out to be like a bad suit, but then fashion changed, and it's actually like
Chic.
cool looking.
A serve.
Yeah. So it's kind of a serve. Anyway, Paul Rubens. Pee-wee was amazing, and there aren't kids shows like that anymore.
No.
That allow kids to be like kind of naughty weirdos, which is a shame. But you can buy it all on Amazon Prime. You can buy all of the Pee-wees.
There we are again.
Yep, there we are. We're back to Amazon. Or you could just like buy a DVD.
Bootleg it.
Yeah, or bootleg it. All right, time for Sanity Corner / I Feel Petty. Alyssa, what do you got?
I feel petty. Guys, I was in the airport yesterday, and can anyone explain to me? So I was going through security, and the person behind me was like, excuse me, I have to get my suitcase. And I was like, yeah, we all have to get our suitcases. But they were being very precious because they had a very fancy designer suitcase. And guys, what is actually the point of a Louis Vuitton suitcase? What is the point? You are advertising to anyone in the airport that even if what's in your bag is trash, the bag is worth something. And what's crazier are the fake Louis Vuitton bags, because then you're just begging to get your bag snatched, and it's like there's not even anything inside. Like, I understand if you have a carry-on. That's, I mean, just because I travel in LLB doesn't mean everybody
This was
should.
a checked bag?
It was like a roller bag.
Okay,
it was
yeah,
a roller
yeah.
bag. And like, why would you spend that much money on something that is just going to get the shit kicked out of it and increase the chances that it gets stolen?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Right? I was flummoxed.
I mean,
by
it's tacky.
It was tacky.
It's tacky.
Alyssa, you've given me a great idea,
maybe
and
it's
that's
super-
stealing those bags.
Maybe it's super aspirational, but I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it's also you got to prove something.
What are you proving? What are you proving?
You know,
I'm not poor.
My suitcase was free from American Express for being a member for 15 years.
Mine, I have it away. Hello, thank you. I paid for it. But it's like in other countries, you know, they really wrap their suitcase. Like we treat our suitcases like shit. And I've been to other airports and I'm like, what is this station? And it's like the suitcase protection station where you truly wrap it up so it can't be hurt.
It's like a
And I'm
whole segment on the first episode of 90 Day Fiancé every season.
Yeah, like expensive suitcases, don't do it.
Doesn't make sense to me.
And if you're rich enough to afford an expensive suitcase, you're probably rich enough
Fly private.
If it gets stolen, you can probably just like
I
replace
guess so.
it.
Just take
don't-
your bag on a PJ.
Don't buy anything so expensive that you are in trouble if you lose it.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's probably a good rule of thumb. Kiran.
Yes. Okay. I feel petty. I do. Thank you.
Oh, you are petty.
I thank
in
you.
general.
Thank you so much. I have been wearing the petty sweatshirt a lot.
Oh yeah,
It's a
people
great
love that.
sweatshirt.
On
Here,
stage.
it's like 95.
Well, the AC is popping
Yeah,
here.
the
Copy
AC
that,
is
copy
like
that.
once you're inside, and people look at it and they're like, "That really suits you," and I don't know what to make of that, but I take it as a compliment. I was just outside of Chicago in a suburb. A few hours outside, and there was a hotel convention going on with it was 100,000 people were there for baseball cards, and it was very scary. I was at the bar, and you're going back, and you love corn, and I love the way Megan's smile is plastered to her face, you know. But
I just like you're saying this. I'm like, sounds like a great place to meet
think
men.
that sounds fun.
it was not fun. I realized how intolerant I am, and I was like, there were men there with their little suitcases, their little hard top suitcases. One, like I was sitting at the bar eating a hot dog because that's all that was available, and then he took out his one card in plastic, and the other two guys sitting there basically just jizzed their pants. And I was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I don't belong here.
Kiran, if they
I felt like an avocado in a sea of hot dogs.
if they weren't trading and celebrating baseball cards, they would be trading and celebrating guns.
Yeah.
So you sort of have to be like, you can't yuck their yum when their yum is truly hurting no one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the whole Oppenheimer movie's course would have changed if Oppenheimer had only had a hobby like collecting
baseball cards.
Yeah.
You're just saying, think of it as a distraction that people are just doing until they die. Just gives them something to do.
Benevolent side hustle.
Yeah, put a ball of yarn in a hand. You know.
Yes.
Knit some mittens, let it be. Listen, to be clear, I'm happy that it exists.
But you did not feel
you felt out of
comfortable
place
there.
I just don't want to be around it.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, you're not mint condition anymore, so
it was hard. I was shook. I learned something about myself that I was like, I don't belong in this place. You know, I think it's interesting to feel a sense of unbelonging. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. Last time I went to church, I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, and maybe that was also the church you went to. Maybe there'd be a different church where you would feel like, oh, I like the way that they're presenting Jesus to me on this one.
That's what happened to me. I went, and it was like a 90-year-old Irish priest that was like, all are welcome here. And I was like, I'm back in! Like, I was like, okay, I like church again.
Oh, man. Don't try to steal his pot of gold. Okay, so here's something that I am feeling is my sanity corner this week. The Women's World Cup.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ongoing. The Team USA not doing great. Made it out of the group stage. I think we got to play Sweden in the knockout round.
Sweden on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah. So they tied with Portugal. They tied with the Netherlands. They beat Vietnam. But what has been most exciting to me is watching the other teams play. Even if the U.S. doesn't, I would like the U.S. to win, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
But it is so exciting to see women's soccer being played at such a high level by so many different teams. Like, I watched the Colombia-Germany game. If you have the opportunity to watch a replay of that game, watch it. Watch it from minute one all the way to the end. It is one of the most thrilling games I've ever seen. Colombia has an 18-year-old girl who is their star. She is 5'3", doesn't appear to sweat at all. She's so fast. Her footwork is incredible. The team was ranked 25th in the world. They played number 3 Germany. It was like a David versus Goliath situation. Germany played hard. Nobody was diving. Nobody was whining. Everybody was like really intense, but not in like a dirty, men's soccer kind of a way. It was so enjoyable, just top, front to back enjoyable. I can't wait for the knockout round stage, not only for the USA, but just for all of the teams playing soccer at such a high level. It is so exciting. Also, people gripe about like the difference between watching women and men play sports, and I think like when you watch basketball, it's like watching almost two different types of game. Like there are women who play basketball who are like super fast and can jump really high.
They're also playing defense.
Exactly.
And the men don't.
Yeah, the men don't really play defense, but it feels like a different game. I feel like with women's soccer, the quality of the game is fairly equal. Like
I think better. Because I just think they're like more elegant, like just the way they do stuff and the way they move their bodies and the storyline. Like I saw Alex Morgan post yesterday that her daughter arrived, and so it's like, oh my god, these are moms, you know. And she was like, my heart is full. Like she wasn't even doing like, well, now I gotta fucking be a mom and then try and like headbutt a ball.
I hope she's got somebody to like
I'm
be
sure
in charge,
she does,
to wrangle.
But like you almost just see they have like fuller, richer lives. I think women do. Dennis Rodman's daughter is on the U.S. team.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is like
I think
that.
she's 22.
She's young, and she's awesome, and it's so fun to watch. And if you haven't been paying attention, the knockout round starts this weekend, so I would encourage everybody to watch. And also, it's in Australia, so it's like at weird times, but they replay them like constantly.
Yeah.
So there's not like other sports happening right now except baseball, and so it's just it's very
It's
available.
like the middle of the summer baseball.
Yeah. It's like before it matters, really.
Right.
So I would recommend watching the FIFA Women's World Cup to any listeners who haven't been cluing in. It's really good. All right, Megan.
Well, I'm going to talk about baseball because there actually is something great going on. Shohei Ohtani is putting together the greatest baseball season ever. Maybe since Babe Ruth. But he pitches, he's an incredible pitcher, and he hits home runs. Like, also the man is so hot.
What team is he on?
He is on, the team is called the Los Angeles Angels, but they play in Anaheim.
Isn't it the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim?
They used to be the Anaheim Angels, and then they tried to rebrand it. So
the 2 hours outside of Los Angeles Angels.
Shohei Ohtani, hunk, so fun, just like, what he is doing is historic. I saw a tweet yesterday that was like, of all the terrible times to be living, just be glad that you get to live in the era of Shohei Ohtani. Like, he is genuinely a joy, loves it. He was going to probably be traded, and then the Angels were like, listen, we're not going to trade him. We're going to try and bring some assets here. So they're bringing him some help. He's never played in a playoff game. Neither has Mike Trout, his teammate, who has been MVP of Major League Baseball, and no one knows what he looks like.
I can't picture him.
Like they used to do this joke at the ESPYs where they would cut to just a random man in the audience and be like, Mike Trout, and it was like, not Mike Trout. So it's really exciting. He's so handsome. I don't even like baseball. Like, I like the Dodgers. I like going to games. I love hot dogs. I love butts. But he really is something that, like, has made this kind of stale, out of touch sport really resonate and popular. He's an international player. He loves California. It has a very large Asian population. So even if he does leave the Angels, we're really hoping he comes up and maybe plays for the Dodgers because he loves being in California.
Oh, good. That would be, just don't go to the Giants or the Padres.
No, I don't think he'll go to the Giants. Yes, hunk. I'm going to, yes, hunk. Get a full body picture. Full body.
I'm pulling up pictures of him.
Oh my gosh, so fun. He wears this like really cool, yes, look at him, number 17. That's my lucky number.
Wow, yeah, that's good. Look, he looks like his angles he looks like a dancer. He moves like a dancer. He's like so elegant.
Pitchers don't usually hit at all because they're not good at it. So they usually pitch and then they're done.
Well, that's why the American League had a DH.
Yes, he is pitching and then is leading the team in home runs.
That's amazing. Good for him. Okay, we're out of time. We're out of time for this panel live in studio. This was so fun. Alyssa, come out every single week.
And we have drinks later tonight.
We're gonna have drinks later tonight. Oh man, that's good. I hope no giant news event happens between now and then.
No.
Knock
Jack
wood.
Smith, take the day off.
Please chill out, Jack Smith. We've heard enough from you. Oh my goodness. You know it'd be a good day to take out your Mueller time shirt and wear it ironically. Because there was merch for that.
There was merch
Nothing
for that.
burger. Okay. Thank you all for listening. Megan, Kiran, thank you so much for joining. Alyssa, thank you for being here.
So happy to be
physically. Listeners, if you want to get in touch, hysteria@crooked.com. Send us stories from your respective states or countries. We love hearing from you. Just, be nice, because if you're mean, we make fun of your emails.
We text about you.
We do. But there'll be more Hysteria for you next week.